The 1-year-old boy who died in this incident. His parents left him in the care of another relative, a young man who was an adult. Sometime around mid-morning, they left him in his care. Apparently, he returned to the home where he lives, I think with a mother or a grandmother. And at that point is when the child apparently was left in the truck. Family went off to do their thing, and at some point, family members contacted this person who was responsible for the child and realized that he wasn't in the home. That individual went and took the child out of the truck and inside the home, or someone took him inside the home at some point, and that's when they called 911. Firefighters got to the scene, rescue personnel. I think family members may have started CPR, but AFR took over on CPR efforts. He was non-responsive. He didn't have a pulse at that point, but they tried for a long time to revive the child. Unfortunately, the child died at the scene. They were not able to revive him, and that's what led to officers. I think officers got on the scene a little bit before that. When officers arrived, they were told someone had taken the child in the house. They went into the home. They were just trying to gather facts and determine who all was involved in this incident. There was already some grieving relatives arriving on scene, so it was a little chaotic. But they did make it into the house, and once they determined who was who, which relative, the little boy belonged to, they called out our Crimes Against Children unit to start an investigation. I believe they also called CYFD to check on the status of the child and if there was any history there. Not aware of any history, and like I said, it was left with a relative. I think the times that they called AFR, I'm not sure the time AFR got called, sometime after 5, APD got called at 5:44, so that's when they got on scene. So from mid-morning till approximately 5, we don't know if that individual went anywhere in between then or how long exactly he was at the house, but it could have been anywhere between those two timelines, between around 10:30 and 5 p.m. Obviously, being in a hot truck with windows up can get extremely hot after just a little bit of time. So, it's just really, really sad that this happened. And like I said, it's a very tragic incident. The individual who was responsible for the child while this happened had left the scene, then returned to the scene. I believe he was devastated as well. But was interviewed by detectives. Our detectives did work with the DA's office, and at this point they chose not to bring charges while they're still investigating it. So they've interviewed a number of people, a number of family members, neighbors who are very familiar with the family. My understanding is they've lived at that location. I don't know where the parents lived and the little boy, but at that house they were there for many years. And that was in the 1300 block of Tres Cerritos Southwest. I think it was near Arenal and Old Coors. So that's where we're at this point. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of new news, but other than to say, again, it's a really tragic incident, and our detectives are still investigating to try to get to the bottom of what happened.